Hello guys, I am back from another video on the deku was Typhon. So in the last video well, after Izuku was done making dinner for himself and for Ochako, Izuku saw Aizawa again, but she seems to be hiding something. But after Izuku looked, Izuku saw that Aizawa was badly hurt in one of her missions. She got stabbed by some sort of quirk user with some sort of this quirk that allows her to poison anybody. So, Izuku called the ambulance as she was brought to the hospital. After that, Izuku and Ochako are going to be taken care of by Miss Midnight. So, after they were taken care of, and also gone to the mall for getting more clothes because Izuku doesn't have any clothes at all. He only has those pairs and some hand me downs. Izuku decides to go outside for a while as Izuku was in the middle of a fight between a hero and a villain, specifically with Miss Mount Lady against a random villain with some sort of gigantification quirk. So, when Izuku was about to get crushed under his feet, the villain, Izuku transformed into his more gigantic self, but not with the whole snake hair and gigantic wings that block out the sun and the serpent legs. After Izuku does that, Izuku escaped as cameras also saw the event and they basically took a picture and also recorded it. So yeah, after Izuku got back, Izuku just nervously laughed and just looked at the ceiling all night and was worried instantly, thinking that like all of the quirky users, or should I say females, because only females have quirks in this universe, are going to freaking kill him or experiment on him or whatever. So yeah, so that's basically what happened last episode. So let's talk about what happens next. So, Izuku is currently at home worrying about what is going to happen to him. After all, he was caught on camera, which he's absolutely terrified of. And Izuku was well, also near a hero, so she's probably gonna testify that it's actually real, an actual boy with a quirk, quote unquote, because Izuku doesn't have a quirk. It's more like he was born with this power because, he's technically a god. So Izuku was instantly scared as he starts worrying, like 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 he's literally sweating like gallons upon gallons of sweat. Izuku is scared. So after a while of worrying what is going to happen to him, Izuku just calms down and thought of this. Alright, if they come towards me and if they try to capture me, maybe I should just run away. Yeah, I should just run away and never come back, and yeah. After Izuku transformed into his more humanoid form, Izuku, aka Typhon, has a more humanoid demeanor, or should I say, acting more like human, because now Typhon back in the day doesn't have all emotions except for that one about his old wife dying. But now he's having a serious question in his mind if he's going to get experimented on, like in the movies that he watched before, that whole incident with well the one, like wait for a second, before you know Aizawa getting stabbed by that quirk user. So, Izuku, while just thinking in his mind, Izuku gets a tap on his shoulder. As Izuku just slips up and says this, what is it? As Izuku looks over and sees Ochako. As Ochako says this, hey Izuku. As Izuku just says this, Hi. uh, uh, as she says this. Why you seriously been acting weird, Izuku? Did something happen? As Izuku just says this. Oh, nothing happened. I swear, it's nothing. As she says this. Hmm, are you sure about that? As Izuku just says this. Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing, I swear. As she says this. You seem to be hiding something. Come on, tell me. After all, I am technically your sister. As Izuku just says this. It's nothing, I swear. Izuku just starts acting a little bit weird as Izuku just creates wings made out of metal and covers his whole body. As Izuku just starts hiding himself, as Ochako says this. Oh come on, you can't hide from me. As Izuku just says this. Fine. Izuku retracts his wings and puts them back in its place, being turned back into, well, the back. So, after Izuku just sighs, like a deep sigh, like that, Izuku just spills out everything. As Ochako said this. So, you basically turned gigantic so you can save yourself, and now everybody is now like aware that you're a quirk user. As Izuku just says this. Yeah, and I'm terrified. What if they experimented on me? Or maybe even worse. As she says this. Oh, don't worry. Besides, I mean, you are protected by, you know, both Aizawa and Midnight. As Izuku just says this. But maybe their power isn't enough. Uh, he starts getting, like, even more worried. As she says this. Oh, come on, stop it. You're starting to act more like a worrywart. As Izuku just says this. You're right. I should just calm down. Maybe something won't happen. As Izuku starts going into the window, as Izuku just sees tons and tons, and I mean tons of like policemen and heroes arrive. Izuku's heart just sank down to the bottom. Like seriously, like so down to the point that it's reaching the same level as hell. As Izuku just says this. I think it's gotten worse. As Ochako just says this. Huh. Well, guess we start packing. As Izuku just says this. Yeah, let's just do that. As before they can pack all of their things, the like heroes arrived as they start capturing both Izuku and Ochako as they were brought to a police station. Yeah, that's basically what happened. As Izuku was being dragged, Izuku just says this. Get off of me! As he says this. Alright, so you're the first boy that's able to use a quirk. As Izuku just says this. Alright, as Izuku just creates his black wings, as Izuku just starts flying off with Ochako, as one hero arrives, being a girl with red wings. As Izuku just says this. What the? As she kicks Izuku right in the chest, causing him to fall down. And because of that, Izuku was knocked out. Izuku starts seeing black as he closes his eyes. So, this, Izuku is basically knocked out, and he's currently being carried away to some place. Specifically to a police station. So, yeah. So, wait for a second. So, while Izuku was still asleep, or should I say knocked out, Izuku was brought to a cell, as after a few hours, Izuku wakes up, as Izuku was locked in a cell, as Izuku just says this. Where am I? Where am I? As Izuku looks around, as Izuku just says this. Am I in jail? Oh no. No 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 no. He starts like worrying what they're gonna do to him. Either experiment on him or kill him. Izuku was afraid. Even though he was, or at least back in the day, the god of all monsters or the father of all monsters, but because he's now human, or at least somewhat human, Izuku is now terrified. And his type himself is just like, did you seriously forgotten that you're the god of monsters? Anyway, so, Izuku was afraid what is gonna happen to him. As Izuku hears the door open, as Izuku looks over and sees Aizawa. Aizawa runs over towards Izuku as she says this. Oh, Izuku, you're okay. Now, so you decided to show your powers then. I told you to. I told you to don't use your powers in public. As Izuku just says this. I was about to get killed. What should I do? Just get killed then? As she says this. Maybe you should have I don't know, just moved away instantly. As Izuku just says this. Running at the normal speed is basically like instant death. As while they were started arguing, as one more person arrives. This person was Principal Nezu. And Principal Nezu was currently staying on the top of the head, or on wait for a second, on top of the head of Principal, not Principal, I meant at Mrs. Aizawa. As Aizawa just says this, oh, hey Nezu. As Nezu looks over and sees Izuku. As he says this, so, you must be Izuku. So you're the first boy that's able to use a quirk. Nice to meet you. As Izuku just says this, nice to meet you. As he says this, nice horn. So, mind telling me what was that quirk over there? When you used it? When you're about to get killed by that villain? As Izuku just says this, well, my quirk is shape-shifting. I'm able to shapeshift my body, even turn some of my body parts into, well, monsters. Let's just call it that. I'm also able to use elemental magic, or what I prefer to call magic, as he says this. Magic? Why do you even call it magic? As Izuku just says this. Well, back in my old life, I was in Greece, and because I was the first boy that's able to use a quirk, they called it magic. But I was enslaved, including my father and mother. I escaped, but my father and mother were killed. Izuku is still using that fake backstory, but thankfully it's kind of effective. As Principal Nezu says this. Okay, please go on. As Izuku just says this. Oh, I also came here, and it was my first time coming here, and, as he says this. Alright, please keep talking. As Izuku just says this. And then I met Ochako, being my, adopted little sister, and then I met Mrs. Aizawa, which she adopted me. As he says this. Alright, that's enough. As. Wait for a second again. I got something on my. As he says this. Alright, so, why didn't you just tell me, Miss Aizawa, about Izuku being the first boy that's able to use a quirk? As she says this. You know that the media would probably just leak it to everybody? As he says this. Well, it doesn't make a difference because seriously, almost everybody in Japan, and also some of the, other countries know that Izuku's now, well, a quirk user. The first user quirk, and now they're basically asking, well, about what they're gonna do with him. As Izuku just says this. Oh no. Izuku is kinda scared what's gonna happen to him now. As, after a while of talking, Principal Nezu says this. Alright, so, Izuku, was it? as Izuku just says this. Yeah, as he says this. Okay, so, do you want to become a hero? As both Izuku and, well, Aizawa were silent at first. As Aizawa just says this. Principal Nezu, please don't. And trust me, if you let him become a hero, it would be an instant disaster because most of the heroes are girls, right? As he says this. Oh, I know that, but don't worry, we can make a policy like that. As Izuku just says this. So you want to become a hero, but as he says this. Don't worry, don't worry. You'll be in safe hands. After all, you're gonna be going to UA. As Izuku just says this. Wait, UA that all girls hero school? As he says this. Even though I'm the owner and I'm technically a boy, I'm more of a creature, I guess. So it doesn't count. As he says this. Oh, I see. Izuku is instantly terrified because Izuku knows of these stories about like you know our heroes and like girls treat boys, and because Izuku's the first boy with the quirk. Um, Wait for a second again. God dang it! And he already knows about like how people, specifically girls, treat men, and because Izuku is now going to be going to, well, UA, Izuku is kind of terrified because, the whole like girls having the ability to use quirks. And Izuku just says this. Um, what if I refuse? As he says this. Well, you would be forced into hard labor and also brought to Tartarus where you're going to be staying for your entire life. And also, they're also going to become, well, let's just say in a human experiment, where we're going to experiment on you and how to use that power of yours. As Izuku just starts getting scared, as Izuku just says this, so you are going to experiment on me. There's no way I'm not going to let you do that. As Izuku creates his arm and turns it into a gigantic claw. As Izuku just says this, I'm not letting you experiment on me. As he says this. Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. It was just a joke. Except for the part that is where you're going to become you know, a member of Tartarus, where you're going to be, well, wait for a second again. Got something in my. Shite. Scheisla. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. So, as Izuku just says this, do you seriously have to joke about that? It's kinda terrifying. And are are anyway, so I'm gonna become a hero, right? As he says this, right? Hmm. Fine, I'll become a hero, but in one condition. As he says this, very well. What is this condition? I want you to let my sister go as well. As he says this. Hmm. So you want your sister as well to go to UA? As Izuku just says this. Yeah, I actually heard that that's her dream. Becoming a hero. A hero that will save lives. Even protect others. No matter what the cost. As he says this. Hmm. Very well. As Izuku just says this. Thank you, I guess. As he says this. Oh, don't worry. And trust me, even though it's an all-girls school, I promise you that they won't, well, as Izuku just says this. Um, what? As, wait for a second again. As Aizawa just says this. Please don't talk about that, Nezu. As he says this. Oh, come on! I mean, it's an all girls school. Like some of them don't even know what boys mostly look like. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, as he starts going back to his home, as Izuku was also brought home with, well, with his sister being Ochako, or adopted sister. And please don't do those jokes again, please don't. Anyway, so when Izuku starts leaving back to home, well, Izuku, when he gets home, some people started looking at him because they know that Izuku is the first boy that's able to use a quirk. Some girls were not really asking, more like looking at him, as they started thinking in their minds if they can, well, use him for their own benefits. So, yeah, when Izuku got back, Izuku started making dinner for both himself and both of his, well, family members, or at least foster family members. So, after Izuku made dinner, they basically are done and they basically go to sleep. So, before you leave, I also gotten something to tell you, like, tell all of you guys. So, I want all of you to vote on this post over here in my community tab, where I'm going to be picking either just harem or just no harem. Ah, god dang it, I misspelled it. God dang it. And I'll fix that later. Anyway, so if you want to vote for like Izuku just having only one ship or a harem, just pick it in the comments over there or just vote on there, okay? Good. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe so you can see videos like these in my channel. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!